Okay, so hello everybody. Welcome to today's class. My name is Coach Buba, and I'm so happy to have you guys on this live this evening. So we are just starting our class by 6:14 p.m. I'm gonna permit me to share the link of this class to my students. Then another round. So I'm gonna share my entire screen today as well. So, like I said, guys, to permit me to share the link of this live to my students in their numbers. So today we're gonna be the last time we actually had a class, we discussed more about the ISAT exam, and then we also talked about the Globe 6, the 6 keys to students being a successful international student in different countries. And then the second day we talked about the ISAT, which is the preliminary scholarship aptitude test for students to be able to be conversant with international exams before they even get to write it. So that was what we talked about the last time, and I would be adding the link of that because I didn't add it. I didn't add the link of the pbcambridge.com website link, or did I? I'm gonna check. I think I did. Yes, I did. So I'm gonna if you want to register for the ISAT exam, then you have to click on the PB Cambridge link to be able to register. Okay, so trying to send something. So in today's class, we're gonna be talking more about the SAT on its own. We're gonna be talking more about the SAT. And for the SAT, we all know that it is basically schools in the US, Canada, Australia that actually makes use of the SAT, which is the Scholastic Aptitude Test, assessment test for international students, and not just international students. Citizens of these countries actually, write this exam as well. But majorly the US, Canada, and Australia, with just a very few European countries that makes use of the SAT test. So I'm going to be giving you guys a rundown of what the SAT looks like, how to scale up, how to write the exam, and get a very good score that will help you secure good scholarship that today. So like I said, permit me to share this, to send this to my email. All right, so I've sent This YouTube live link, I've sent it to the email, so I'm gonna share it to my students so they could actually join the class. And I also encourage you to share this link so that other people, other students can join the class. All right. Just a few minutes. All right, so back to today's class. Like I said, we are talking about the ACT, the Standardized Assessment Test. So the first thing I'm gonna do is to introduce you guys to the Khan Academy. I'm not gonna use the PB Cambridge website. The PB Cambridge website is basically for the ISAT. So if you know you are a student that is required to write the ACT, first and foremost, the ACT is an international exam for students that want to study abroad, a country other than theirs. The ACT helps you to secure good scholarships from different universities in the world, especially the US, Canada, Australia, and some other countries in the European axis. Not all schools, not all countries require the ACT. So you have to make sure that the university you are applying to actually requires the ACT before you can go ahead to write it. So for you as an international student, the ACT is going to help you secure very good scholarships from these schools. And the higher your ACT test, the higher your ACT test scores, the higher the scholarship you receive from these schools. So you have to make sure that you prepare well for your test. You have to prepare for at least 3 months ahead of your test date. Register on time. Get your international passports ready or your identity cards. And then make sure you have go through intensive prep classes for your test. The SAT test just have methods of answering the questions. It's not something that you need to start cramming, or I don't know, reading a lot of materials. You just have to practice. The more you practice the SAT, the better you get, the more you understand the methodology of the questions, and the more you get to score higher in the SAT. So you have to ensure that you prep pretty well for the tests. And also make sure um you have all your documentations ready. Make sure you have all your documentations ready. Without your documentations, you can't actually write the SAT. So I'm going to show us a document. I'm going to share a document with us. I'm going to share a document with us. You have to look at my screen. This is where we um categorically look at the SAT in 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 details. So I'm gonna open this document. After reviewing the documents, I'm gonna show you how you can register online, how you can create your account online for you to be able to access 7 practice tests of the SAT. And mind you, the body that administers SAT is the College Board. But now, most times, students, study with Khan Academy, because the Khan Academy works hand in hand with College Board. So most students end up studying with Khan Academy because um, they are more detailed when it comes to the explanation of the categories of the SAT test on its own, from the English test to the mathematics and the section writing and language section, the essay section, So the Khan Academy is more detailed. The College Board just provides you with the 7 practice tests that you could actually um, you know, revise and prep with till your test date has actually arrived. So I'm gonna share this with us. I'm trying to open this document. I'm trying to open it so that you could see what I'm saying. Okay, it's not this. All right, so we are here. We're gonna go down to the SAT, the part 3, which is the SAT. So as you can see here, the purpose of the SAT is to assess students based on reading, writing, and math. The purpose of the SAT is to assess students based on writing, reading, and math. Now, the current format used in this guide, remember, there was a time the SAT was written with pencil and paper. They're gonna give you an answer sheet with a pencil or a pen, and then you get to answer your questions. But right now, currently, since last year, the SAT is now a digitalized exam. So without your laptop, without your tablets, without a computer, you can't write the SAT. So it is digitalized, highly digitalized right now. So the current format is that we have 54 questions and 64 minutes for the reading and writing language. So everything that has to do with the comprehension passage and the writing and language section comprises of 54 questions. And you have 64 minutes to answer questions, to answer 54 questions based on reading and writing language section. Now, in the math section, you have 44 questions and you are given 70 minutes approximately to answer 44 questions. In the 44 math questions, we have the math calculator and we have the math no calculator. Now, these two models, which is the reading and writing with math, reading and writing is together 64 minutes, 54 questions. Then the math section is 44 questions, 70 minutes. So by the time you're done with reading and writing, after 64 minutes, you're gonna be given a 10-minute break before you get into the next session, which is the math section. So we're gonna look at the SAT reading and writing, what it entails. The SAT reading and writing actually tests you on, it entails central ideas and details. Like I said, the reading comprehension passage of SAT comprises of world literatures, world history, world science, and the rest of them all. You're going to be given about 3 to 5 pages of comprehension to read and answer questions. And in those comprehension passages, you are being tested on, you know, central ideas and how detailed you can be. You're also going to come across inferences and evidences. Inferences and evidences is where you pick out evidence to a question that is asked. Inference is where you highlight where a question was captured in a passage. Now, you're also going to be tested on words in context and rhetorical purposes. Words in context and rhetorical purposes. You're going to be asked rhetorical questions and you have to provide the answers. And I want to tell you that every question asked in the SAT reading and writing session, the answers are in the passage. And most times you're provided with tables and graphs, all those histogram, all those diagrams. You are being provided with these tables, and most times questions are being asked on the tables that are provided for you in the passage. You're asked to extract information from those tables. So when you are going through the reading and writing session, you need to pay attention to the tables, to each diagram that is provided for you in that passage. So you're also being tested on text structure and transitions. You're going to come across text structures and transitions. You're going to come across grammar, punctuation, questions on grammar, punctuation, sentence boundaries, and standard English conventions. You're going to come across precision, concision, and effective expression. Now, in the next section, after the reading and writing section, which approximately takes 64 minutes, you're going to have a 10-minute break before you get into the second session. which is the math section. And under the math section, you have the algebra and linear equations. You're going to be tested on algebra and linear equations. So if you are a secondary school student or you are a high school student, make sure in your high school days and in your secondary school days that you are taking classes on algebra, linear equations, non-linear equations, functions, trigonometry, equivalent expressions, geometry, problem solving, and data analysis. Because in your SAT maths section, you're going to come across these things. If you're a secondary school student in Nigeria, to be precise, you have to make sure you take further maths in your senior secondary, because that's going to give you an edge to be able to ace the SAT maths when you get out of secondary school. So in the SAT maths, you're going to be tested on algebra and linear equations, advanced math, non-linear equations, functions, equivalent expressions. You're going to also be tested on problem solving and data analysis, geometry and trigonometry, calculator strategy, and digital tool familiarity. So you're gonna be tested on all these topics, and most of these topics are topics that are being treated in your high schools or in your secondary schools. So you have to pay attention to these things when you are in your high school. So the next point we're gonna look at is the SAT strategy. The SAT strategy. In the SAT strategy, I'm gonna teach you how to identify the task before solving it, how to answer, use the answer choices as information when appropriate, and the math aspects, how you can translate words into equations before calculating. You're also going to learn how to read and write on the reading and writing session, how your intuitions are going to be used to extract evidences from the passage. I'm going to teach you all of that, but it's one step at a time. And then, because the modules are separately timed, each student needs to be able to manage their time independently. You need to manage each module's time independently and review answers before moving on. That means after the reading and writing section, which is gonna take about 64 minutes, you let's say you answered all your questions under 50 minutes or 60 minutes. That means you have about 40 minutes to review all your answers before moving on to the next one. So make sure you pay attention to the class, and we're gonna take it one step at a time. I'm gonna show you how you can prepare for the SAT. Read through all the topics I've listed here on the Khan Academy website, and how you can also secure your accounts, create an account with College Board and Khan Academy. On the College Board, remember, on the College Board, that's where you're gonna practice for your test. You're gonna be able to download the Blue Book app from the College Board. The Blue Book app is the app that you use in prepping for the SAT, and it is under College Board. That provision was made by College Board itself. College Board is the body that administers the SAT. So let's quickly look at, I would have said, let's look at the examples of what the SAT reading and writing section is like with the math section. So we're gonna look at the examples. So we have an example prompt. For instance, for example, we have the committee rejected the first proposal dash. It requested a revised plan, and it says we should choose the best transition. Now look at this sentence. It says the committee rejected the first proposal, and then we have this punctuation mark here with a dash. That means with a comma as well. It's requested for a revised plan. That is a transition. What word, you would ask yourself, which word are we gonna fix in here that will link up the transitioning of these two sentences? We have two sentences here. The committee rejected the first proposal, and we have the second sentence. It requested a revised plan. So we need a linking word that would actually link these two sentences, because we have transitioned from the first sentence to the second sentence. We transitioned from the committee rejected the first proposal to it requested a revised plan. So you would ask yourself, which word are we gonna insert in this, empty space here to help us link these two sentences together? And the suggested answer we have here is therefore. The suggested answer we have here is therefore, as you can see here. So now let's add therefore here. I'm so sorry. I'm going to get my notepad ready by tomorrow in our next class, so I can type and then you see. Now, once we insert therefore to this page, you're going to see we have the committee rejected the first proposal with the hyphen and the punctuation mark here with the dash. Oh, sorry. So we're gonna have the committee rejected the first proposal. Therefore, it requested a revised plan. So therefore is a word that actually shows a very good transition. We transitioned from the committee rejecting the first proposal to them requesting a revised plan. Because why did they request for a revised plan? Or why did they request for why did they reject the first proposal? You know, they requested for a revised plan, probably because they are not comfortable with the proposal that was submitted. Therefore, they requested for the revised plan. They want an updated plan of the proposal. So therefore, they rejected the first one that was submitted. So therefore is the correct transitioning word that we could actually use in this sentence. So now let's look at the okay. The second clause describes the consequence of the rejection, which I just highlighted. So let's look at the SAT math. We're gonna go in details with this once we get to our Khan Academy. You're gonna understand more about the SAT reading and writing. So we have the SAT math example prompt. A line passes through two coordinates 2 and 5 and 6, 13. What is its slope? A line passes through coordinates 2, 5, where the y is 2 and the x is 5, and we have 6 and 13. Then the question is, what is its slope? Now the slope is, remember, we're gonna subtract y from y, and then s from x. We're gonna divide that, and then we get our answer. Looking at what is here, we can see that the xy axis, we have the first x to be 2, and we have the second x to be 6. So we have 6 minus 2 here, and then we have the second y to be 13, which is the highest number. The highest number is going to be in front, and then we have the third y, which is the second y, which is 5. So as you can see here, the highest numbers are written first, in as much as they actually come second in positioning. So 13y minus 5y, that's gonna give you 8y. 6x minus 2x gonna give you 4x. So we have 8 divided by 4, which is going to give us 2. So the slope of this coordinate, the slope of this you know this axis is 2. So this is a typical example of what the SAT actually looks like. The SAT reading and writing section, remember, it takes 64 minutes. And then the math section, which is 44 questions, we have it's going to take you about 70 minutes. So I'm going to show you how you could actually create an account on both Khan Academy and the College Board. The College Board is the body that administers the SAT, and Khan Academy works in partnership with College Board to help students prepare for the SAT entirely. So the first account we're going to create is the College Board. I'm going to show you how to create the College Board. You go to College Board. I'm going to drop the link here, collegeboard.com. Okay, collegeboard.org, not .com. Collegeboard.org. So you're going to click on sign up. You click on sign up. Okay, so as you can see, you're going to create your College Board account as a student, not as an educator. You're going to create your account as a student, not as an educator. So you're going to click on students. You click on students. Then after that, you're gonna fill in your details, your first name, nickname, last name. The asterisk informations are compulsory. Are you a female or a male? Your date of birth, your high school graduation. If you have graduated, you indicate your email address. And once you're done filling this form, you're gonna receive an email. You click on the email and you click on the email confirmation. You open your email app, click on the email confirmation from College Board, and then you're ready to go. But what is going to happen, I'm going to sign in with my own account so that I can show you what the background looks like and how you could actually download the Blue Book app for your practice tests. Okay, I have a couple of students accounts here, but let me see if I could actually log into this. Okay, this is, I should verify this is me. So I'm gonna just use, this is one of my student accounts. So I'm just gonna use a very cumbersome account, maybe mine or the one I have access to the email. Let me see. See, I have a whole lot of students here. I think I'm just gonna use mine. I'm just gonna use mine. But I can't even find it. Okay, let me see this. It's just that I don't think mine is I don't think mine is a student account, but let me see. Preciousboba@gmail.com. You see, I don't know the password, and that is a problem. Oh my god. That is the problem we're gonna have here, but let me see if I could recover it. This is a wrong password. Mm. So I'm trying to recover my account. I'm trying to recover my account. So I want to check my email if I'm gonna see this verification code from College Board. Okay, I didn't see any verification code. So what's gonna happen? I'm just gonna create a new email. I'm gonna create a new account right now. It's even gonna be better, so you get to follow me step by step on how to, you know, create an account. So my first name, gonna put it as Precious. My last name, I'm gonna just say Coach Boba. Coach Boba. I'm just gonna choose a random, date of birth. Just make sure you fill in your date of birth here. So you're gonna choose a date. I'm gonna choose a random date. Uh-huh. So I'm gonna put in my email address, PB Cambridge. I'm gonna use the PB Cambridge email so I could get the verification immediately. Make sure you use an active email so you could confirm your account immediately. Gmail.com. So I'm gonna confirm my email. I don't even need to type. I could just, copy. Could just copy and paste in this box. High school graduation year. Okay. We are the high school graduation year. You're gonna choose your high school graduation year or when you're gonna graduate. Okay. You're gonna choose when you're gonna where do you go to school? You could say, okay, if you don't choose your graduation year, say, I'm no longer in high school, my school is not listed. And then once you choose this, you're going to choose outside the US. Your zip code is outside the US if you're not a resident of US. If you're not a resident of US, please kindly choose outside the US as an international student in another country. And then if you have graduated from secondary school, please kindly click I am no longer in high school. My school is not listed. Then you're gonna have to filter your school by zip code. But since I'm filling my form from outside of the United States, I'm just gonna click outside the US, and then I'm gonna put in my address. I'm just gonna use any random address, Lagos, Nigeria. I'm not gonna put in my address here. Then Lagos. They're gonna ask you the city. You put in Lagos or wherever state you are in. Then the region outside the US, Nigeria. I'm currently in Nigeria and I use my postal code 23401. That's the postal code I used. So after all this, you're gonna click if you want to receive emails to support your college and career readiness. And if you don't want this, then you have to click on no. If you want your parents to be informed about your college application, you could actually fill in your parents' names here, their first name, last name, email address, and they'll be copied an email. And whatever that is happening on your college board accounts, they'll be notified about it. After you're done filling all this, you're gonna click on I agree with the legal terms of